Uh-oh. Now what am I gonna do? Well, I didn't realize that I was at the fuel depot, so I guess we'll have to just go with it. Hopefully, it's gonna let me turn around. Fortunately, we're in the Islanders chute. Right. So, everybody, we are here. Thank you guys for your patience. I really appreciate it. And I'm also hearing myself talk. So, let's see if I can get the plane turned around. I didn't realize I'm at the fuel stop when I loaded the sim. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the delay. Appreciate the patience. Let me get my headset all set. All right, external power supply on. Rotating beacon on. Mixtures and props full forward. How's everybody doing? Wilhelm, Magnum, Bob. We got Bill. We got Peter. We got Will. Oh, we already said hi to Wilhelm. Um, good to see everybody. Mixtures and props full forward. Fuel valves open. Fuel pumps coming on. Why? There we go. Master and battery switches on. We'll go mags on number one. So this is actually going to be a pretty cool flight. I think we might be able to get down to Trinidad. If I can ever click these stupid things. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Yay! Alright, let's crack the throttles. Watching while I do spreadsheets, yeah. I don't know why this thing's been bothering me for like 2 days now. Instead of being centered, it's like off center. So I'm like sitting in the middle of the cockpit. Alright, let's take a look outside. Nobody to kill or maim. Let's give it a start. I never run into a building in this sim, so I don't know what happens. Alright, fuel pressure, oil pressure is good. Mags to both, left prop is clear. Good start, oil pressure is good. Mags to both, started cover closed. Turn the fuel pumps off, avionics master coming on. Let's lean the mixtures for taxi. UN, what's going on? Hans Boone, what's going on? Yeah, it is a Gremlins day. I don't know what's going on. Can you guys can hear me, right? Somebody's talking about sound. I'm hoping that the sound is working at the very least. Yeah, I can hear it on my iPad. Okay, so the one thing I forgot to do is turn on the names, but that's all right. So, which way should I go in order to try and not hit the building? Probably, it's probably not gonna make any difference. So we'll go left. Another beautiful day here in the Caribbean. Parking brake is off. Nav and strobes coming on. Alright. Let's see what happens. Please don't hit the building. Nice. Oh no! Oh no! No, I have to go back to the main menu and start all over. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a comedy of errors, is what it is. It's a comedy of errors. And you know what's funny? I did that the other day. I was loading into. Yes, I want to return to the main menu. I was loading into our last group flight, and I did the same thing. And I was like, wait, because I went to load into a spot where I was like, shoot, I think there might be. Let's go right here. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? No, it's not custom. This thing is so silly. All right, let's try here. All right, GA small. we're good to go. And we can also put the name tags on now. And I was loading into a spot, and it it was the fuel pumps, and I was like, no, that's not gonna be a good idea because if you do that, you're gonna hit the fuel pump. And so now I got to do all of this all over again. Now you guys can see all the fun stuff that I do. I get a little extra fuel just in case for today. And let's go. All right. Let me turn everything off again. So, hopefully you guys have like a puzzle to do or something. TPN, how are you? I'm sorry, guys. It's just the way my day is going. Um, I learned a while ago I should always like load in a half hour before the stream because you just don't know what's gonna happen. And UN, sorry about that. I hit a building, so that's all right. Once we get flying, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, Pop's got spreadsheets. All right, please tell. Nice. This is gonna work just fine. This is actually a pretty perfect spot to load in. I kind of like it over here, actually. All right, now let's try this one more time. I just feel sorry for everybody in Europe because you guys, it's getting late and we're doing nothing. Come on, go away. All right, external power supply on. We're gonna do real quick here. External power supply on. Rotating beacon on. Mixtures and props full forward. Master and battery switches on. Fuel valves open. Fuel pumps on. I have to do it all in the same order, or else I forget things. I do it in the same order as I do my Cherokee because the engines start the exact same way. Yes, we have a start. And left prop is clear. Oh, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. But we'll just leave it. Alright, that's good. Mags are on both. Fuel pumps off, avionics masters on. Mixtures lean for taxi. Alright, so yes, we might be a half hour behind schedule, but we are ready to go. Nav and strobe's coming on. So, what have you guys been doing lately? You take care of the trees not jumping in front of you. Alright, so let's see. Let's release the parking brake. And transponder is on. Hopefully hitting grass isn't a problem. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go flying. I want to go flying. You guys don't know how much I love these flying days because this is really the only time I get to fly for fun. You know? But there is a lot of fun going on. There's some really wild stuff going on with Microsoft Flight Simulator right now. With the 707 coming out, I'm psyched about that. That's a cool plane. Trying to think I'm not gonna back taxi too much, but the Islander on short file. That's what it looked like. I was wondering. Um, there are no airports today that are going to be a problem for from UN, although apparently no airports are a problem for UN. Um, but there's a new beta for the whatchamacallit, the not the GeForce experience, the NVIDIA app. There's a new NVIDIA app which is really pretty cool. It's got some really neat stuff in it. I think they've updated the filters, like the AI filters that they set up. Let's put some flaps in here. We'll go fuel pumps on. And for anybody who has not seen the hey Brucey, no, 4090 is great. Yeah, 4090 is great. You're gonna do just fine with that. Hans Boone. Getting ready to rumble. I'm gonna go right behind Hans. Let's see. And here comes Run Wild. He's going around. Or maybe not. Alright, I'm gonna head out. What else is going on? Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Oh, for anybody who any of you guys who have not been to Tobago, fuel pumps around, flaps are set, mixtures and props full forward. Let's go. So we're gonna do left turnout, go around the island, and then land at Grenada, Maurice Bishop, which is a great airport. 90 knots, I can probably take off now. But for any of you guys who have not been, what a cool shot, who have not been to Tobago, wait until you see the airport. Wait until you see the airport in Tobago. It's one of the stock airports that Asobo did for Sim Update, World Update 16, the Caribbean update, and it is so cool. It is so cool. I drop the nose a little bit and bring the flaps up. 14,900 KS and a 49. That is sweet right there. I am not running the Bing Maps mod. That looks pretty good down there. The biggest thing I noticed about the Bing Maps mod is these types of fields. They look so much better with the mod. I'm not running it, but this, I mean, it looks pretty good. So, let's take a look outside. Nice, nice, nice. Look at this. What a cool view that is. So Grenada, the Spice Island. Good stuff. Tell you, the sim is looking gorgeous. There's some days that, I don't know if it's my imagination, it just looks better than other days. I think 1,500 feet will do the trick. I don't know if it, I tend to think that some days, hey Bombasso, what's going on? How you doing? I tend to think that because I'm on wireless, and sometimes my connection's like 80, sometimes it's 30, which I can't figure out either. But I swear that sometimes the sim looks better on some days than it does on others. You know, not quite sure why. But it is looking gorgeous today. Absolutely gorgeous. And it is gray and rainy in New York, so it's nice to see some sunshine. So, speaking of Bing Maps, I think we sort of, I don't know if I should talk about this or not. I think we sort of made the dev stream yesterday because one of there's a streamer who works for Asobo, and somebody sent me a clip of one of his streams where he was talking about how bad the Bing Maps mod is and we shouldn't use it and da da da. And he's and like how it violates the terms of service and all the boring stuff. And he's right. You know, like he's right. But at the same time, like of course he's gonna say that. He works for Asobo. And then yesterday during the developer stream on Twitch, they were talking about when the maps were gonna get updated. And they were like, oh yeah, we just got a huge new influx of data from Bing, and that is going to be the data that they use, the map data that they use for Flight Sim 2024, and they're going to backport it to 2020 once they do that. And I think that's kind of their way of saying exactly what a lot of people suspected, which is that they're not using the latest data because they want to use it for Flight Sim 2024. So, um, there's Jim Bridgman. I think he's a rugged individualist. He's always flying by himself. Jim, are you a rugged individualist? But anyway, I, I, I find it interesting because the other thing that happened was, yeah, right? um, I don't, uh, Deepayan, I don't know if I would do. I mean, I don't know. The answer to your question is I have no idea. I don't know if I would run them at the same time. I'm trying to remember the lossless scaling, what the tech is, like how they do it. Jim. No, I think it's great. You're always flying around by yourself, checking things out. Um, But Deepayan, I don't know is the answer to the question. I tend to think it's not necessary. But I mean, you could try it and see what happens. I don't think anything bad would happen. It might turn. Oh, guitar lesson. Nice, Jim. I've played guitar for a long time, 35 years. Um, what kind of guitar are you learning? What kind of stuff are you learning? But the other funny thing is a couple like I don't remember how long ago. Oh, it was April or May, the dev stream where I put out a video right before that talking about the tiling, the ground bleed through issues, and they didn't have like a grap a handle on it, and they were kind of the three of them. What is it? Seb, Jorg, and I forget the other gentleman's name. And it seemed like they were all kind of talking in different terms on that. And I did the video on it, and then like a week later it was fixed. So I don't know. I don't know. The other cool thing about World Update 16 is you can see the buildings are more like appropriate for the area now, which is cool. You are a drummer, I see. You're reminding me of my musicians' jokes about drummers. But it's a musician joke that works for any musician type. But when I was in high school, I played in a concert band. We had a really good concert band, and I think it was actually my teacher who told the joke. He said, "Would the drummer get on his IQ test?" And we were all like, "I don't know." And the answer was drool. Spark, how are you doing, man? What's going on? We are behind schedule, but having ourselves a good time. So this is one of my favorite airports. I love this airport. Great place to fly into with like a 737 or a larger airplane. Just a cool airport, and I don't know why the plane. I was doing I did a video earlier today about the driver, the latest driver, and the plane was just pitching up and down and up and down and up and down the entire time. It drove me nuts. The Turbo Duke, yeah, no schedule. You know, I've been meaning, like really meaning to do a video on the Duke. I think the Duke is a cool plane. and Just Flight was kind enough to give me the Duke so I could do a video on it, and I haven't done it, and I actually feel bad about it because I should have done that already. The thing to me about the Duke is that the Duke really feels alive, like, but in a good way. Like the kind of turbulence you get on hot days in airplanes, like in smaller airplanes, is really kind of sharp, I guess is the way I would put it. And I flew the Duke around Miami, the piston Duke, and it had like literally the exact correct feeling for how a small plane feels in turbulence. And this is the time when I start wondering. Yeah, it is a fast airplane too. It's kind of a one of those like the legacy class of light twins that just doesn't. It's kind of fallen out of favor, you know. Runway 10. Okay. Get some power out. Well, I didn't turn my fuel pumps off. This is embarrassing. Alright, so let's see here. We'll make a little bit of, I'm going to do a touch and go here. The scenery I have for this airport is from SLH Sim Designs, and they did an awesome job as always. Let's see here. 115 knots, put in a notch of flaps. What am I not doing that I should be doing? Kind of wide. Yeah, the high wing in this makes it a much better, like makes it a much better what's the word I'm looking for? Sightseeing plane. And the Duke for hey J Russ, what's going on? You know what? You did. I will get back to you, my friend. I'm so behind on Discord stuff. I know I mentioned the twin otter to a few people, and I haven't gotten to that yet. I will. I promise. But yeah, the Duke on flights like this would be too fast, you know, and it's pressurized and it's complicated. All right, full flaps, fuel pumps are on, but it's a cool plane. Let's bring in some power. All right. Got one red, I'm happy with that. 80 knots and one red is what I like. Let's see. I think I have 3 red actually. Now that I look at it. There's 2 white, 2 red. So yeah, I think we're gonna easily get to Trinidad today. I feel like we got a pretty stiff headwind right now. Carrier break. Come on, baby. Yeah, we got a stiff headwind. Alright. This is a poor way to approach. Yeah, Yeah, I think there's. Oh, you know what? I have 2 Grenadas loaded. That's why. That's why it's doing this. Oh, I hope I don't have. You know what? I just realized I have 2 Trinidads loaded, or 2 Tobagos loaded too. I hope it doesn't interfere with the really, really cool Asobo version. I think it's probably going to. Darn it. I didn't think about this before I flew. Whatever. Alright, mixtures of props full forward, fuel pumps are on. We'll go up 1 notch on the flaps. Darn it, I hope it doesn't conflict with. So, what I have loaded, I have the. There's a package that has Trinidad, Tobago, and Grenada. And I have that loaded and the SLH Sim Design scenery loaded, which is why I had that weird elevation thing going on. Alright, let's see here. And I hope it doesn't interfere with the Trinidad scenery, because the Trinidad scenery, or the Tobago scenery rather, is really, really cool. So now what we need to do is turn somewhere in this general direction. There we go. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. It's about 70 miles over to Trinidad. No, SLH, that's my fault, dude. Apologies. I was trying to show off your scenery, and instead I screwed it up. So the reason, so I bought the Trinidad, Tobago, and Grenada package very early on in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Like, one of the first ones that came out, and it was one of the first packages I bought, scenery packages. And yeah, Jim, that was. And but I bought it on the marketplace, and so let's go fuel pumps off. And so I have to remember. So it's like it loads automatically whenever I load the sim. So I have to remember to go in and remove it depending on what I'm doing, so that I can use SLH Sim Design's version of this scenery, and then the stock version of the Tobago scenery. Because I fly out of Trinidad a lot, I fly out of Piarco a lot, and so I just have it loaded all the time. So much for my attempt to show you the really cool. Everybody, SLH Sim Design's there in the chat. He's the gentleman who done a bunch of these sceneries down in the Caribbean, and they are all phenomenal. So a very warm welcome to you, sir. Let's see, and you know what? I need to, speaking of things that I mean to do and haven't yet, SLH, is your latest scenery. Is it TTCP or is it TTPC? I can't remember. Just in case you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what's going on. TTCP, I had it right. Oh, okay. We're gonna do 3,000. No, come back. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And coming up about 3,000 feet, we'll pull the power here a little bit. So it's been pretty much a comedy of errors. It's still a good time. At TTCP. Come on. There we go. Come on. Let me see, what was it again? Heading on 146. Okay. Heading on 146. And now I'm going to pretend like I meant to climb to 3,500 feet because I'm almost at 3,500 feet. Run wild from your lips to God's ears. That'd be great. Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, Peter, you're right. You're right. That is one thing that is challenging. I have to say, I did not expect, talking about the Toby, I did not expect at all to give up my trusty track IR for the Toby, and I gave it up. I after I started testing the Toby, I literally never went back to the track IR. There is very little that outweighs being wireless, being completely wireless. It's just awesome. Start leaning out the mixtures. The other funny thing about the Toby is that it moves sometimes when you're talking. So you can see my, it's kind of unsteady sometimes when I'm flapping my gums. Alright. Hey, you're welcome, Peter. I love the thing. I really do. And I didn't expect to like it as much as I do. The Toby is awesome. It really is. It really is. So we are, yeah, the goats, right? Wow, I just saw that. Gosh, what a beautiful. It's just such a beautiful sim. It really is. So let's see. It'll take us a little bit to get over there. Let's see what we've got for a wind here. I always get this wrong. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, we got 32 minutes, so we got time to chat. So, yeah, 32 minutes. We're good. Ground speed is 120 knots. Yeah, so wind's out of the east, clearly. So, DLSS just really. So, you know what's interesting, DPA, that you mentioned that. I saw that in DLSS Swapper the other day because I every once in a while I just check my DLSS file just to see because it just randomly gets changed sometimes. Like the other day, it got changed to back to the Microsoft standard one, which is 2.4.12, and there was no update, so I don't know why it got changed or how it got changed, but it did. And when I went to DLSS Swapper to put the other one back in, I noticed they had a 3.7.1, but previously all they had was the 3.7.1 for the DLSS G file, not the regular one. And so I was like, wait a minute, what? But I just didn't have time to look at it. So I've got literally 14 things that I'm sim-wise that I'm trying to do. in addition to trying to keep the plane from stopping climbing. Cloud molestation, yes. Um, uh, you just reminded me of a funny story. It's not many funny stories about molestation, but my Mrs. Island Sim pilot, whose native language is Spanish, in Spanish they use the word molest as in like to interfere. And she had a funny story about that, which I'm not going to mention because this is a family-friendly stream. So I get so irritated with myself for flying poorly. That's a good question, Shmakash. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And you know what's also interesting is this airplane, which I'm getting frustrated with right now, has one of the best flight models in the sim. The Islander. Hey, Brew Pilot, what's up? That's awesome. Yeah, it's. I feel the same way. Like it. Where am I going, by the way? It takes some getting used to, and it takes some tweaking to get it set up um, where I was happy with it. But once I got it set up, I love the thing. I really do. Alright, there we go. Jari Jr., what's going on? Black Box Sims, Old Phoenix Sims, camping the people with their Airbus. Oh, really? I didn't know anything about them other than this airplane. It's good to see you, Brew Pilot, by the way. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that somebody did this plane. Oh, so that's why they don't. That's why they're not on. Oh, no way! Sid Market banned them. Wow. Shoot. Well, they redeemed themselves with this plane. And this plane hasn't been updated in ages. It's been at least a year and a half. Probably even longer than that. Probably even longer than that. Alright, come on. I literally I spend like the entirety of my time trying to trim this thing out. So, among the things that I want to do that I haven't done is review the Beach Duke. I have not tried the Trilander. I haven't. Um, the main reason really that I haven't tried it is because I would have it with three engines. It doesn't. It's not easy to set up. You know, like a four engine jet is easy to set up. Twin engine prop is easy to set up. Um, it's just not simple to set it up. Although it's probably a stupid reason not to get it. Let's see. I'm now confused. See, on Tech Power Up, they've only got the DLSS G file, the FrameGen file, but in DLSS Swapper, they have 3.7.1. So I'm going to have to look into that. So I need to review the Piston Duke. I need to get over and check out SLH Sim Design's Montserrat, which is, I mean, that is just a sweet airport. That is one of the cooler airports. And for somebody to actually do that, in particular for SLH to do that, with the detail he puts in, is just sweet. And then I'm waiting on something that you guys are going to be pretty amazed by. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or not. Do I have? I do have it. I don't use it. I got lossless scaling to check it out. Hey, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. I'll take that, and I appreciate your support, man. You reached out on a number of occasions, and I genuinely appreciate it. Bourbon, right back to you, Brian. Thanks, man. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the most exciting thing that I have going on. I haven't been told not to talk about it, but I'm not sure if I can. So I won't. But yeah, Montserrat is sweet. DHC Caribou. It's another interesting plane. No way. That's interesting, Shmarkesh. That's interesting. You know what was really funny? I was on YouTube the other day, and which is hardly surprising. But a film, an old film reel of Queen Elizabeth touring the Caribbean in 1962, I think, came up in my feed. Montserrat is, let me remember what the identifier is. It's just northeast of Guadeloupe, and the identifier is Tango Romeo Papa Golf. Really cool little airport. Really cool airport. That would have been one of my if I had been Asobo, that would have been one of my airports. That would have been one of my landing challenges airports in the Caribbean. It's tough. Short, no room for error. Right at the edge of a hill face. I'm gonna have to look at that. Gosh, that's awesome. Montserrat documentary. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna try to anyway. But anyway, they had this thing, it's like the British Film Institute or something. I don't remember. And the reason I watched it was because I wanted to see what the Caribbean looked like, 60 years ago. And it was so cool. They went all over the place. They went to Grenada. They went to Trinidad. They went to Tobago. They went to Barbados. They went to. Unfortunately, they didn't have any film footage of Anguilla. But it was just wild seeing video footage of the Caribbean in the 1960s. It's just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Lots of scaling released new update today. Hey, I appreciate that, DPN. I really appreciate that because I really liked that program. See, now I understand why I'm confused. That is Trinidad. That is Tobago. I feel like I've been going between from one to the other for the last half hour. But Deep Ion, one of the things that one of the reasons I got that program originally is because I figured that at some point Asobo would figure out how to kill the frame gen mod, which they have no reason to do, but I just kind of figured they would do it anyway. And they just never did, which I'm glad. But I figured lossless scaling would be a great backup of that, for that, because lossless scaling works outside of the sim environment. So you could use lossless scaling, and there's nothing that anybody can do to stop you from doing that. But it was a cool program, and I'm on their Discord. I see all the time that they're very active. No kidding. Brew Pilot, that's neat. I can't imagine getting anything constructive done in the Caribbean. I realize people do. Like millions of people that live there and do constructive things every day. But I don't think I would be very constructive. Yeah, and it's cheap too. It's like $6 or $7, I remember. I was talking to I was talking to a friend of mine who's a doctor the other day, and we were talking about where people go to medical school, and a lot of people go to medical school in the Caribbean because it's wild, like things that I never really thought of. Like if you're 25 years old, you're too old to go to medical school in the U.S. Like they don't want you. They want you 22, fresh out of college, valedictorian. And so if you're like, take a few years to figure out what you want to do, and then you want to go to medical school, you can't really in the U.S. So a lot of people, Steve-O delivered some escargot. So a lot of people go to medical school in the Caribbean. And Anguilla has a medical school. And I just cannot imagine going to medical school in the Caribbean. I think I'm about to. Could you imagine? Look, is the amount of studying required, number one. But like, can you imagine like spending time in the Caribbean like studying? I can't imagine doing that. It's a terrifying notion. Let's see. I think if you look at my scale, an overhead of my flight today, it's going to look like S turns. So A&R Robinson International Airport, runway 11. This is gonna be, and I hope I didn't screw this one up with the Trinidad and Tobago package, because this is the freeware one that came with World Update 16, and they did an amazing job. It's such a cool little airport. I love Caribbean airports. As you might have guessed, as one might reasonably assume. Maria del Campo, best north approach. Marina del Campo. Where's my airport? Maria de Campo. I'm not gonna look that one up. Oh, Marina de Campo Airport. Where are you? Italy. Yeah, you know, oh, that looks pretty wild. Um, Italy is an amazing place. Italy is really beautiful. I want to go to I can never remember the name. Oh, come on, what's the name? Let me see where the airport is first of all. That is in. Ah, okay, that is pretty cool. That's on a little island. Next to the island that I can't think of, which is Sardinia. So I want to go to Sardinia. Pizza, exactly, Di my favorite food in the world. My favorite food in the world. Why can't pizza be good for you and a weight loss food at the same time? That'd be great. You know, that's one thing I've never done in Microsoft Flight Simulator is gliding. Never done that. And I've actually flown gliders in real life. Man, you guys want to talk about fun flying? Holy cow. Flying gliders is unbelievable. It's hard to describe. October 15, 1997, Phil Collins, Errol, Carl Parkins, Mark Knopfler, Sting, Elton John, Eric Clapton. Music from, yeah. So basically they went on vacation is what they did. That's in music. I wonder what. Oh, that, you know why? Because of the volcano. That would be why. So they weren't on vacation. I take it back. I apologize to all of the above named artists. Jason beat us over to Trinidad. No, that's not. You're allowed to advert. You're allowed to talk. You're allowed to share your stuff. Post a link in the Discord to one of the videos or to your channel. I want to see it. So the cool thing about yeah, the volcano. The cool thing about gliders in real life is they're kind of not really loud, but they're kind of loud when you're getting towed. And then as soon as you pull the cord and disconnect from the tow plane, it slows down like quickly, very quickly. And all of a sudden, it's like sitting in your backyard. It's completely quiet. It's really weird. Gliding is just it's so peaceful. It is so peaceful. You see this? So the first half of this flight, I was trimming up and up and up and up and up. Or no, down and down and down and down and down. And now I'm trimming up and up and up and up and up. And one could reasonably ask, why don't I just use the autopilot? But I don't want to. I don't like using autopilots in small planes. Alright, whoopsie. See. $125 is a little bit on the slow side for this plane. I don't know why it is at 125 in level flight. It shouldn't be. So, alright, we're 10 minutes out. We need to lose 2,500 feet, so 200 feet a minute. 300 feet a minute would be perfect. So, we're gonna have to buy it again. It's gonna be a separate purchase. It's really a completely different game. It is a completely different game. Fortunately, it's the interesting thing though. It is not a complete from the ground up rebuild, which is what I originally thought it would be. Pull some power back here, but so yeah, it's going to be a new purchase. Hans Boone is flying his Islander faster than I'm flying my Islander. I don't think it's going to be costlier. My assumption is no. Might be a couple bucks more, but I mean, the mid-range one for 2020 was what, 90 bucks, right? I think the one thing I'm probably going to do for 2024 that I didn't do with Microsoft 2020 is I'm going to buy whatever the highest package is. I can't remember what it's called. I can never remember whether Premium Deluxe or Deluxe or Super Deluxe, whatever it is. I'm going to buy the highest package they have. So apparently, Hans, in real life, like Islander pilots have very like they use noise canceling headsets because it's so loud in the airplane that I've seen videos of some older guys in Sparkly Pack Deluxe, exactly. I've seen videos of some older guys flying the Islander like with a handheld microphone and no headset. And I'm like, man, Adam, how are you? You know what's funny, Adam? I don't think that has anything to do with the frame gen mod, but one of the things that I've noticed is that one of the biggest performance impacts for me isn't heavy clouds, it's really, really light clouds. Like any sort of like, even like a mist. Can be like really, really light clouds that you can see perfectly clearly through. They're almost not even clouds. Those are the ones that have the biggest impact on my performance. I have no idea why, but it's something I've always noticed. It's kind of weird. Hey, Peter, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Deep Ion, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty. Yeah, exactly. Hazy. Yep. Deep Ion, I think performance in 2024 is going to be better. I really do. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be phenomenal. The Sim 2024. I think it's going to be phenomenal. We shall see. Let's see, how far are we now? 5 minutes, okay. 5 minutes, and we have come down only about 800 feet. So we'll bring the props back. So as I mentioned earlier, I think all the add-ons are going to work. I think everything is. That's what they keep saying, is that everything's going to be backwards compatible. I'm just looking over there right now, and I'm starting to think that perhaps. What do you guys think? Do you think we should go? Or do you think we should have? You think we should make this our stopping point, and then we'll go there next time out. Trying to think. Trying to think. Like for the live weather to be server based. Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right, SLH. And the other thing is, like I watch the stream from Maho Beach in St. Martin every day. So when I hop in the sim, like I know what the weather is when I'm flying in and out of there, which is usually where I'm flying. Hey Adam, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, Deep Aeon, it's weird. Like the last maybe 3-4 days in the Caribbean has been heavy weather, and or particularly in Puerto Rico, I guess. But like thick clouds, heavy clouds, no big deal. Light wispy clouds, they are performance killers. I don't know why. It's weird. Yeah. So Schmarkash, I think this is. I mean, the core of the sim is the same. I mean, like a lot of things they're going to be backporting. They're going to be backporting weather. They're going to be backporting the scenery. They're going to be, Asobo themselves. They're going to be backporting, like stuff that they developed for 2024 is going to get backported into 2020, which in some ways makes you wonder why would you buy 2024. But I mean they've been saying all along that everything's pretty much everything. I don't even think they've said pretty much. I think everything is going to be backwards compatible. Planes, sceneries. So let's hope that stays to be the case. Past business plane about 15 years ago, Charlevoix, Michigan to Beaver Island, Michigan. Yeah, it's a very popular short haul airplane for that, for those types of places. What is is it Mackinac Island in Michigan? Mrs. IslandSimPilot wants to go there. She wants to go to a lot of places. Alright, mixtures of possible forward. Alright. And clearly the wind is out of the north because either that or I'm completely incompetent, or it's one of the two. Yeah, it's the funny thing is, DPN, I saw the recently. Where was I? Oh, I was flying from Charlotte to San Juan in the PMDG 737, and they had really awesome coastal fog in like around what is it? Trying to remember the name of that coastal city in Charleston, South Carolina. And it had an awesome coastal fog. So yeah, anywhere that you get that type of fog, you're gonna I'm sure it's not easy in the sim. That's an interesting thing. I've never done any flying in Asia in the sim. That's one of the cool things about the sim is, in my opinion, is that you can go to like all kinds of places in the world that are real places that you might not get the chance to go to otherwise. And you can go in Microsoft Flight Simulator and check them out. All right, fuel pumps on, flaps are set. Mixtures and props full forward. Pilot is not doing a very good job. All right, we'll go flaps full. Definitely a left crosswind. So yeah, I think I've got 2 sceneries loaded, which is a bummer. Let me see if I can actually make it decent. I made a bunch of not so good landings today. There's a nice big pause right there. A little bit of a left crosswind, but not too bad. The realistic turbulence feels so much better to me now. Just got a little bit of rudder kick in there at the end. Andrew Carr, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, this is one of my favorite. I think what we'll do is wrap it up here today, only because this will give me the opportunity to come over here and check out this scenery. And for those of you who didn't hear me talk about it earlier, hey Andrew, the only reason we did it today is because I got wrapped up in work yesterday. I literally had 2 days worth of work yesterday in one day, and I just couldn't do it. And I didn't want to. I just rescheduled for Thursday. So my apologies. Let's lean the mixtures, fuel pumps off, flaps coming up. Um, what was I gonna say? I forget. My landings have been terrible all day. I think that's what I was gonna say. But this is a cool little airport. I really like this airport. Yeah, see, I don't know if that's double sceneries or if they have, if there's like some old paint on the ground at this airport. It's possible. But this is, I think what you're seeing might be, look at me taking the, taking the airline gate. Yeah, sure, Peter. Sure thing. Hold on. Alright, let's go. Mixtures idle cut off. Throttles are idle. Parking brake on. Lights coming off. Avionics master off. What just happened? Mags off. Master and battery switches off. I think we're good. Um, this is such a cool little airport. And I think what might be happening is we're seeing 2 sceneries because I have 2 sceneries loaded. But I think they did a really nice job with this airport. So yeah, yesterday was crazy, Andrew. It was unnecessary how much stuff I had to do yesterday. It's one of those days. And I mentioned to Kashif was bummed about it, and I mentioned on the Discord and I'll say it again here because you know, like I don't take your time lightly. I really don't, because I know everybody's got work and family and everything else going on, and to be psyched up to do something and have me cancel is a bummer. So I don't do it lightly. If I do, if I cancel, it's because I really have to cancel. um, and yesterday was nuts. But um, so this is a good hop today. This is a good hop, and I think this is the end. Look at, I mean, it's such a beautiful. I just like the open front and the trees, and I don't know. I just like it. I think it's a cool airport. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of scheduled service in here that I can fly anyway. Um, Andrew, I have. The question is, have I started using the Bing Map enhancement in the Caribbean? I have, and it's good. I used it in Puerto Rico. I used it in where else was I? Puerto Rico, in Guadeloupe, in St. Kitts. Over the last couple of days, doing ATR flights, and it's good. That was one of the things I was really curious about, is whether it was going to be any good in the Caribbean, because who know, it just depends on what the map stuff is like. But one of the things um, that I've read is that it really improves areas that are uh, less served in the sim, shall we say, like Africa, South America. Just turn the engines down, the external sound down a little bit for you guys. But so they say a lot of the areas that are not as well served in the sim itself are very, very much improved with the Big Maps mod, and so I really shouldn't be surprised that it looks good. And as a matter of fact, I used it in Trinidad the other day, and it looked gorgeous in Trinidad. It looked really, really good. I was actually doing some touch and goes. Um, yeah, Andrew, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to stop the flight here, so we could actually look at the airport, because there's two things I really like about airports. I love airports that end on a water, like on the water like this, and I just Caribbean airports to me have character. They're just unique, and I love them. I really do. I love Caribbean airports. One of my favorite things about Caribbean airports is UN is they all have shipping containers somewhere, and I just find that endearing somehow. I don't know why, but walking into yep. Andrew, it's funny that you mentioned that, because one of the things that I love about Princess Juliana in real life is when you land and when you step out of the door of the airplane, like that heat and that humidity is like hitting a wall, and it's like, you're like, bang, I am here. It feels so good. I love it. Um, let's see. Ghosting paint, that's right next to. Oh, is this. Oh, really? So that's a thing? So can. Or are you just pulling my leg? Um, yeah, well, I totally agree. I totally agree. Oh, no way, June 29th. That's awesome. Yeah, so I will be landing in Princess Juliana on August 24th, and doing one of my favorite things in the world, which is as a matter of fact, I will be taking this exact airplane from Princess Juliana to Anguilla. They're not going to let me fly, but hey, you know. Hans, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming, man. It's great. Good to see you as always. Yeah, it's funny. What was it last winter in in Anguilla? I saw a photograph. Like somebody, there's a couple plane spotters on Anguilla, and a couple of people that are near and around the airport. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, but that they were showing pictures of how many planes they had packed in Anguilla on the tarmac, and they were literally like this, just stuck in. I mean, it was like a jigsaw puzzle of airplanes. It was absolutely wild. But yeah, I'll be so on August 24th. I'll be landing in Princess Juliana, and then getting in this airplane for the 8-minute flight to Anguilla, and you will not be able to wipe the smile off my face. Yeah, it's just awesome. Yeah, Andrew, it's funny because I actually not this actual airplane, but I've flown Islanders in the Caribbean because I did ask, and I've made some friends with people down there now because we've been going for a while. I've made some friends with people that fly Islanders, and it's such a cool airplane. That's why I was so amazed when it came out in the sim in this sim. But that's a very good point, Andrew. So, yeah, Andrew the or Bob the so I have like four versions of that flight on my YouTube channel. Um, when flying from Anguilla to St. Martin or St. Martin to Anguilla, like the real life ones, and it's almost my favorite part of the trip. And what's funny is that when we leave Anguilla, we fly from Anguilla to St. Martin, and then leave out of St. Martin. And so I'm always psyched to go in the Islander on that flight, but I also hate it because that means I'm leaving. I'm going home. So it is what it is. But yeah, this is a cool airport. This is a cool airport, and I'll be you guys will get a lot of pictures and videos once that trip commences. That's the other thing about that trip is my wife keeps saying, like, oh, I can't wait for the trip. I can't wait for the trip. And I can't wait for the trip either, but the trip is at the end of the summer. So when the trip gets here, that's going to mean the summer's over. So that's the one reason why I'm not like in a hurry for the trip, but I am. You know what I mean? So next time up, it's gonna. So I figure there's so many cool places. So next time up is gonna be Trinidad, and there's a couple cool airports. There's a freeware airport on Trinidad that is an old U.S. Army Air Base, which we can go check out as well. And then there's a couple airports along. I mean, where can I? Oh, where's the VFR map? Oh, look at that! Ha! Didn't show you guys what I'm talking about. Presumably, anyway. So we'll go down here, and then I had never really considered actually going south, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go over here. And Andrew, I can maybe do it tomorrow. Depends on what you guys want to do. I could probably do it tomorrow if you guys want to fly. Um, hey Buckman, thanks man. Take care if you're out, and we'll see you either tomorrow or Sunday. Um, so up to you guys. If you want to try for tomorrow, we can try for tomorrow. But I think what we're going to do is hop here, and then we'll go doink doink, and then go. This is Margarita Island. That's going to be a really really cool one. And just go along the coast. And this is a cool one. And we'll just keep on trucking around the islands. Um, your secret plane, and there it goes. Um, Andrew, I will let you know for sure tomorrow morning. If hopefully that's probably make it to by tomorrow. All right, you know what? Um, you know what? Let's do tomorrow. Let's do tomorrow 4 o'clock. I'm game. I can get enough work done before then that we can do it. So let's do tomorrow 4 o'clock, and we'll go down to Trinidad, and then we'll see how far along the coast here we can make it. I don't know how long these legs would be. So we'll do tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And Andrew, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Actually, I did a swim with the dolphins thing once too. It's amazing how powerful those animals are. Holy cow, they are something else. Um, all right, gentlemen. So let's do tomorrow, and uh, and we'll continue on our merry way. Sound good? Um, all right, Buckman. The pleasure is mine, my friend. Take care, buddy. And to everybody, Andrew, Bob, Bill, Peter, I'll talk to you in a second. Wilhelm, Deepayan, thanks for joining. Hey, Deepayan, if you want to join the Discord, it's in the links at the top of my YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to join in, and we fly usually every Wednesday and Sunday, but today was Thursday, which you probably figured out. Hans, good to see you as well. Wilhelm van Fahrvergnügen, good to see you. Thank you, I appreciate it. Peter, if you're still here, we'll catch up here in a second. Jason, good to see you as well. Brew Pilot, thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you. And Adam as well. We had a couple new people. Schmark Ash was here as well. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. It was awesome, guys. Really had a fun time, and I really appreciate it. Magnum PI. I always think of this song when I see that. Um, but I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate the support. And Deepan, thanks. Appreciate it. You as well. Take care of yourself. And we shall talk tomorrow, gentlemen. Everybody have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be well, everybody.